So House Democrats have launched a request to get a hold of Donald Trump's tax returns using a little bit of an obscure rule. They're asking for the president. They're not just asking, but they're demanding that they see at least 6 years of President Donald Trump's tax returns. Now, Republicans are, of course, massively against this, which is strange because there are a lot of Republican voters that also would be interested in seeing this, as well as the Mueller report, which is something completely different, of course. So now the Republicans in charge, including Senator Chuck Grassley, not interested in having the Democrats be able to read Donald Trump's tax returns and talk about them. And he came out on video saying this. Watch.
If the effort to get the president's tax returns isn't part of a grand reform effort, as they'd have us believe, then what is it motivated by? I want to tell you what it's motivated by. It's motivated by the Democrats' intense dislike of this president. It's motivated by their frustration over losing an election that they thought that they'd easily win. It's motivated by their desire to use all of the resources at their disposal to find something, anything, to bring this president down.
I don't think they actually have to do that. The president's doing a pretty good job of bringing himself down, my opinion. But no, okay. So, see, they want to look at his tax returns in order to find something embarrassing so we can, get the president on something to bring him down. Wait, are you saying that you think there's something in Trump's taxes that will bring him down? Do tell, Senator Grassley. Do tell. No, look, here's what the Democrats actually are busy doing when it comes to blaming the loss to Donald Trump. They're blaming Bernie Sanders. They're blaming progressives. They're continuing to do the same thing that they've been doing for the last couple of years, right? No, look, here's the thing. They should actually look at the fact that they put up probably one of the worst Democrats they could against Donald Trump, somebody who was losing in the polls. So let's not get away from that fact, right? No, the whole deal about Trump's tax returns is that we think that he is both a liar and possibly a criminal, and that those tax returns might show stuff in there that could connect him to literal crimes, like, for example, money laundering. Maybe, or at least hiding from taxes, tax evasion, right? Now, they also, interestingly, might show that President Trump is not as rich as he claims to be, and therefore not really a winner, but kind of a loser, which I think is what Donald Trump is most afraid of. He's not afraid of people finding out his crimes. He's not smart enough to cover up his crimes. And he's also not smart enough to realize that he won't get caught, or that he thinks that he won't get caught. And the reason that he thinks that, of course, is because he's been a lifelong criminal. And so he thinks, I'll never get caught. So it doesn't even cross his mind, right? Doesn't even cross his mind. Now, and I think, again, him not being as rich as he claims to be, that is what Trump's afraid of, because, again, it shows that he's a loser. Now, I think he should have to release his taxes. I'm not buying that President Trump is, again, under audit. He said that earlier. And look, by the way, I think all presidential candidates should release their taxes. I'm a Bernie Sanders fan. I think Bernie Sanders needs to release his taxes, too. I think they're probably boring, like he keeps saying. Maybe he made a bunch of money selling books. Ooh, wow. I know, and the so-called centrists, which really aren't really all that centrist or right-wing, are going to say, oh, look, Bernie Sanders, he's socialist, but he made all this money selling books. Oh, terrible. I don't know. I don't know if that's why he's, I think, dragging his feet on this, but just release your taxes. They are probably boring. Who cares, right? But at least I'm consistent on that, right? So now, of course, social media had a little fun with this. Now, Catherine Witt Thomas says, and Republicans' desire to get the entire Starr report was motivated by their obsession with consensual blowjobs. That was, of course, during the Clinton era. You could probably make a little bit of a comparison between the Starr report and the Mueller report, in which Bill Barr wrote up a 4-page, basically summary out of a 300-page report. The Republicans released the entire Starr report to everybody, but yet they won't release the entire Mueller report to everyone? That's weird. And it might actually be not so good for Donald Trump. Apparently, I hear that they were split. Mueller's team was on obstruction of justice. So, okay. Now, Joyce Armington says, please, for the love of God, retire. Agreed. Greg Bogus says, tilting at windmills, Grassley. So that's, of course, a reference to windmill noise causes cancer, to which Grassley had called Trump an idiot, basically, on that. He said that was a super dumb thing to say. Cam McCoy says, look, Grassley, I'm a Republican, and I want for Trump's tax returns to be seen by Congress. To say otherwise is not to fulfill your oath. Now, look at that. There is a principled Republican. That's great. I think we should, again, demand transparency from all of our leaders. And so, yeah, I agree. Now, Bonnie says every president showed their tax returns. Trump is not exempt from it. So sit down and put a sock in it, Grassley. It's weird how he continues to defend the president, at least on this. Bonnie says, sorry, old dude, it's happening. Pam brings up a great point. She says Obama had to show everyone his birth certificate. It's only fair. Actually, it wasn't even fair to President Obama to have to show his birth certificate. He only did so because of the birther movement, which was led in part by Donald Trump, who kept asking for the birth certificate. I'm sending a team down to Hawaii to go and find out Obama's birth certificate to see if he's American and not Kenyan. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Now, Jay Silv says, how dare they, checks notes, demand that even the most basic level of accountability from the President of the United States. I love that. Bob Montrose pointed out something that I actually pointed out earlier. So his tax returns will destroy him? That seems to be like what he accidentally admitted. And I think that's interesting. If you release the tax returns, the Democrats just want to find something to bring Trump down, and the tax returns will do it. But wait a minute. Are you sure you want to admit that? Are you sure you want to say that? You might want to go back and kind of amend that and say, I didn't mean that there's anything in the tax returns. I don't know. I haven't seen them. Well, you know what? Maybe we should see them. Just saying. Erica Werner says, Grassley is on the floor railing against Dems for seeking Trump's tax returns. Quote, they dislike him with a passion, and they want his tax returns to destroy him. That's all this whole process is about, and it's Nixonian to the core. So again, are you making, are you comparing Donald Trump to Richard Nixon? Richard Nixon, who resigned in shame after scandal? Again, that's going to be a bad comparison. I wouldn't quite go there. Tanya says, yet if there's nothing wrong with his taxes, why so scared? If he did nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide, says Jonathan Bahena. And LJ Frank says, Nixon released his tax returns while under audit and without a subpoena during Watergate. This president should have released his tax returns voluntarily, like every president since Nixon. The fact that the fact that he still claims, by the way, that he's under the longest audit ever, which again, that's what he's doing. He's like, I'm not going to release them. I'm under audit. You've been under audit for like 3 years. No, you were not under audit. I don't believe it. It's just kind of hilarious that he tries to continue using that lame excuse for so long. But no, here's the thing about this. This is not a request. This is using the law to now go after it and to get these tax returns. That's why they can only get about 6 years. They're going to see your tax returns. And unfortunately for you, old farts like Grassley are not going to stop it. So it's happening. So President Trump, brace for impact. You're going to see your taxes. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.